In ancient times, throughout many different societies, seizures were viewed as a manifestation of divine wrath or as possession by evil spirits. This belief was prevalent in many cultures, including ancient Greece, Rome, the Middle East, and Africa. Something like epilepsy was not recognized as a medical condition. Instead, it was thought to be a result of supernatural forces. Most people living in these ancient times believed they had knowledge of what was causing epilepsy, but not everyone held the same beliefs. There was a Greek physician and philosopher by the name of Hippocrates from the 5th century BCE. He's widely regarded as the father of Western medicine and is known for his contributions to the fields of anatomy, physiology, and pathology. One of his most significant contributions was his theory of epilepsy. According to Hippocrates, epilepsy was not caused by supernatural or divine forces, as was commonly believed at the time. Instead, he believed that it was a neurological disorder that originated in the brain and was not caused by gods or demons. Hippocrates observed that epilepsy was more common in certain populations, such as those with a family history of the disorder, or those who lived in regions with high rates of malaria. He also noted that epilepsy was more prevalent in males than females. His understanding of the disease laid the groundwork for modern neurological research on epilepsy. Us humans have always believed that we hold knowledge about the world around us. This knowledge has been passed down from generation to generation, leading us to believe that we have a solid understanding of the world. However, this seemingly concrete foundation of knowledge may not be as solid as we think. Just as Hippocrates' theory on epilepsy, history has shown that we have been operating under the illusion of knowledge for thousands of years. It seems as though we have this need for closure, a sort of natural desire to determine the cause of events and situations around us, and it's a beautiful thing. But if we're not skeptical of the source of our knowledge, it can lead to cognitive shortcuts or simplified judgments about complex issues, which can provide us with a sense of understanding or knowing that may not be entirely accurate. There are several reasons why we may experience a sense of knowing something even when we don't have all the information or understanding. One reason is a cognitive bias known as illusory superiority effect, which is also known as the above-average effect. This bias refers to the tendency for individuals to overestimate their abilities, skills, knowledge, and expertise relative to others. In other words, we have a natural tendency to believe we know more than we actually do, even if we lack the full understanding required. This might lead us to the next, rather crucial obstacle to knowledge known as confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency of people to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs or values, while discounting or ignoring contradicting evidence. It is a cognitive bias that affects people's ability to see and understand the world objectively, leading them to process and remember information that aligns with their expectations, attitudes, or prior knowledge, while disregarding or minimizing data that contradicts their opinions or assumptions. Confirmation bias can lead to inaccurate judgments, prejudice, stereotyping, and polarized thinking, making it challenging to engage in constructive conversations and critical thinking. Confirmation bias has been seen in just about every field of study and seems to be a fundamental part of the human condition. One study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that Christians tend to show confirmation bias when interpreting Bible verses related to moral and religious beliefs. In another study, researchers found that evangelical Christians were more likely to exhibit confirmation bias when evaluating scientific evidence that contradicts their religious beliefs. It also found that religious individuals tend to search for evidence that supports their beliefs rather than considering evidence that challenges them. This tendency can lead to the reinforcement of existing beliefs and closed-mindedness to alternative perspectives. In 1903, physicist Albert Michelson wrote, "The more important fundamental laws and facts of physical science have all been discovered, and these are so firmly established that the possibility of their ever being supplanted in consequence of new discoveries is exceedingly remote." This was shortly before physics was dramatically transformed by the development of general relativity and quantum mechanics. There are many other such quotes apparently demonstrating the overconfidence of even the best scientists. So when it comes to knowledge, I wonder how we can truly know what we know. To know something means having a mental understanding or awareness of information or knowledge about a particular subject, concept, or idea. It involves the ability to recognize or identify something based on previous experiences or observations. To know something, one must have the ability to access and retrieve information from memory when needed and apply it to various situations. Knowledge can be acquired through experience, education, observation, or communication with others. Learning from experts or reputable sources, seeking out multiple perspectives, and analyzing information critically, and then putting that knowledge into practical use to test for ourselves. This can lead to a thorough and well-rounded understanding of a subject matter. It seems as if there is a need for skepticism and critical thinking to challenge our assumptions and beliefs. This may make our understanding of the world seem more uncertain, but I wonder if it is also the key to progress and growth. Skepticism helps us approach things with an open mind and evaluate the evidence critically, which can lead to a more accurate understanding of the world around us. By questioning our beliefs, we can gain a deeper insight into our own thought processes and discover new perspectives that we may not have considered before. When it comes to knowledge, I'm not sure that we can claim to know anything with absolute 100% certainty. If there's anything that we can learn from history, it seems that the more information we begin to have knowledge about, the more complex everything seems to get. From a subjective point of view, it's almost as if knowledge is infinite because there's always more to learn. Yet, us as humans are limited by our abilities to comprehend and understand the world around us. It is completely normal and acceptable to not know everything, but it seems like the hard part is being honest with ourselves and admitting when we don't know. None of us can be experts in everything, and it's important to acknowledge and embrace our limitations. Being curious, asking questions, and seeking knowledge can help us learn and grow as individuals. So keep your wonder alive, because it's the spark that ignites our curiosity, creativity, and passion, and leads us to a life full of adventure, growth, and purpose.